Hey guys, it's Kara. I'm here to do my April wrap up, and I read 7 books this month, which was a pretty good month for me. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. The first book that I read in the month of April was Forbidden by Tabitha Suzama. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but this is probably my favorite book of the entire month. I had such a great reading month, and so that's really saying a lot because I gave lots of 5s out. But I gave this book a 5. It's about a brother and sister who fall in love. And at first, when I read the synopsis, I was kind of like, ew. But this was the most heartbreaking story in love I've ever read in my entire life. I read this whole book in like 2 days, and it's 450 pages. Holy cow, it is such a fantastic book. Definitely going into my top like 5 standalones of all time. Next book that I read, I gave a 3.5, and that was The Absolute True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie. This is a really short book, so it was fine. It was good, but it was kind of just not on the same level as Forbidden was. So it was kind of just, it didn't really fulfill any kind of like satisfaction for me. That's why I gave it a 3.5. But the story was cute, and I learned about some stuff. Like, and it's about a boy who lives on an Indian reservation, and he decides to go to like a mostly predominantly white school, and how he like overcomes racism and things like that. So it's very good to read, but it wasn't really my kind of book. The next book that I read was excuse me, City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. I don't really want to say anything about this one because this is the 5th book in the series. The last one, City of Heavenly Fire, comes out in like next year, I think, in a long time. So I'm really bummed because this was a great book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Okay, the next one was 10 Things We Did and Probably Shouldn't Have by Sarah Milanowski. This book, when I started reading it, I was kind of expecting a certain kind of, tweeny book, and that's kind of how it felt for the first about 50 to 100 pages. But then, towards the end of the book, it just became something a lot better, and it really surprised me. This book, probably out of all the books I read this month, was the most surprising in the way that I actually really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I definitely recommend reading it. It was a really fun read, and I actually really enjoyed the characters and grew attached to them. So, 4 out of 5 stars. Alright, the next one is a sequel, and I read Vanish, which is a sequel to Firelight by Sophie Jordan, which is about a girl who can turn into a dragon, and she's the only fire breather, and she falls in love with a hunter human boy. So it's really good, and the second one was just as good as the first one. I actually really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to read the last one in the series. I think it's called Hidden. But yeah, I really, really liked this one. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Alright, the next book was fantastic. Definitely, I had about 3 favorites this month. The first one being Forbidden, the second one being this one. I cannot believe I did not read this one, but The Goose Girl by Shannon Hale. Yeah, Hale. Was one of the best books I've ever read in my entire life. Holy moly, this book kind of made you feel, if you've ever watched the movie Ella Enchanted, you kind of understand how this book will make you feel, because that movie made me feel the same way that this book made me feel. If you know the story of the Goose Girl, I didn't even know anything about the Goose Girl until I started reading this book. I'd never heard of it. Apparently, it's like a fairy tale. But anyway, holy moly, one of the best books ever, 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 ever. So I'm not gonna tell you what it's about because I don't want to ruin anything, but it's so good. Oh my gosh, 5 out of 5 stars. I would read that book like every month. It's so amazing. And then the last book that I read obviously got 5 out of 5 stars because I read the last book in one of my favorite series of all times. But I read the last book in the Fablehaven series, which is Fablehaven Keys to the Dragon Prison. The Demon Prison. Wow, I just cannot talk today. This is by Brandon Mull, and it's actually like a 600-page book, but I flew through it because it's amazing. It wrapped up the series, The Fablehaven, and I cannot wait to read his other series, the Beyonder series, and see what other awesome things he creates in his brilliant mind. So, that was my April, which is pretty good. I had a really good April. But anyway, I'm about to post to Red Pile for next month, well, the next 3 months, because I'm going to be gone all summer. So stick around for that, and thanks for watching. Bye.